Mr. President, first, let me thank my colleague from Massachusetts for his eloquent statement, which I've had the privilege to hear. Let me make a short statement myself about my friend and colleague, Ted Kennedy. I came to the Senate in January of 1983. And my first real opportunity to work with Ted came in the Armed Services Committee at the beginning of that service. Although he had already been in the Senate for 20 years, he had chosen that year to go on to the Armed Services Committee. And since we were both going on that year in 1983, we were considered the two freshman committee members. Ted and I were able to work together on the Armed Services Committee for many years. He has been described as a visionary leader, a great orator, the keeper of the faith for the liberal wing of the Democratic Party, and options, of course, are true. But the Ted Kennedy that I came to know and that I had the great opportunity to work with, I knew as a passionate, committed advocate and as the workhorse of the Senate. Frankly, Ted Kennedy set a very high standard for himself in the effort that he made on each and every issue that came up for debate. He set a high standard for the homework that he did in preparation for that debate. All of us who served with him found ourselves trying to meet a similar standard. In effect, he had the result was he raised the level of performance for those of us who served with him by the example that he set. In addition to serving with Ted Kennedy on the Armed Services Committee for many years, in May of 1990, following the death of Senator Matsunaga, I had the good fortune to be assigned to what was then called the Labor and Human Resources Committee, Ted's committee. As chairman, Ted gave a whole new meaning to the word proactive in that committee. The volume of useful legislation that he was able to move forward through the committee was truly impressive. A major key to his success was the way that he found to underscore for all members the importance of what the committee was working on. As chairman, he rightly saw it as his job to put together the agenda and the priorities for the committee's work. But before doing that, he would sit down with the rest of us over dinner at his house to get our views on what those priorities needed to be. The serious approach that he took to the committee's work inspired those of us who served there to elevate the importance of that work in our own minds as well. During the course of our work here in the Senate, each of us gets the opportunity to interact with many colleagues, to form judgments about those colleagues, and during my 27 years, I've served with many capable and dedicated public servants who deserve recognition and praise. But it's clear to me that none of us exceeds Ted Kennedy in our passion or commitment for accomplishing the work that we have been sent here to do. Hedrick Hertzberg wrote a short piece in the New Yorker last week that captures well the Ted Kennedy I was privileged to know and serve with. Mr. Hertzberg wrote, quote, "The second half of his 47-year senatorial career was a wonder of focused, patient, unwavering service to a practical liberalism that emphasized concrete improvements in the lives of the poor, the old, the disabled, children, the uninsured, the undocumented, the medically or educationally disadvantaged." That phrase, focused, patient, unwavering service, is a good description of the Ted Kennedy that I knew as my chairman and my friend, and I will miss him very much.